I was actually wondering, where has Stephen Miller's egghead ass been for a while? Did they like bench him? Did they put his dumb ass on the sideline because he goes on and screams and sounds like a shrieking person all the time? I wonder, but he's back. And man, he stepped right back in it.
I don't think that people understand the Trump doctrine is not isolationism. Maybe you can help set them straight, because I'm not too effective, I guess.
The president has made clear that he believes America's awesome military might should be used to protect and defend America's interests, not to surrender the world to our adversaries, to our enemies, to those who would do us harm, not to surrender the world's resources, lanes of commerce, or capacity to keep our citizens safe. No, America first means America will be the greatest, most unquestioned, unmatched power in the world. And it means we will defend American lives. And yes, we will avenge American blood. Iran has waged war against the American people, this regime, for 47 years.
Stephen Miller saw all of the differing accounts of the reasons why Donald Trump started this war with Iran. And he said, here, look, let me jump in and say it more forcefully with more whining nature to my voice. And maybe people will start listening. Let me cook. And instead, when he went in, he said, America first means America will be the greatest, most unquestioned, unmatched power in the world. Bro, maybe you shouldn't have said that. Because I remember as you guys campaigned, you kept talking about how you're more isolationist. You're not going to keep funding other people's wars. You're not going to keep running off and spending American taxpayer dollars and sending off American troops to die for Donald Trump, or as they always said, every other president that's starting wars. Instead, Stephen Miller thought that he really nailed it. Maybe because Sean Hannity's dumbass said, oh man, you know what? Stephen, I think you nailed it. That's not what some of these conservatives said. Damn. Andrew Day says, that's not what America First means. America First means that the U.S. government, which derives its power and legitimacy from the American people, should advance their interests. And they put in parentheses, not Israel's. Oh, that sucks. Man, so far, Stephen Miller hasn't landed that plane. So far, it's just been screeching and stuff. Here, Matt Lewis. Turns out, he says, America First can mean whatever you want it to mean. Again, quoting it from that clip from Stephen Miller. Man, I wonder if Stephen Miller was paying attention to what some of these folks were saying about his declaration that he thought he was cooking on. Jake Jackson says they're literally just rebranding neoconservatism into, quote, America First before our very eyes. This is absolutely disgusting to watch happen. Disgusting even. Stephen, they're not buying it. They're not buying it. Stephen. One last post that I'm going to read said, America First, quoting, he said, Stephen Miller says this. Stephen Miller, quote, America First means America will be the greatest, most unquestioned, unmatched power in the world. This is disgusting, he says. This is how they fool psychopaths into sacrificing their blood and treasure for Israel. And oh, damn, he added on the Epstein class. It's almost like, even though they thought they were getting away with the lies about this war, the lies about the Epstein cover-up, the lies about how they're stealing our money, the lies about Doge, the lies about how they've dismantled our education system, our healthcare system. Well, how many more, 2 more weeks before we get that healthcare plan from Donald Trump, by the way? Just asking as an aside. Nobody is buying this bullshit anymore. So, I mean, it might as well be the best time to drop in something like this. Drop Site News put together this little compilation. You know, since Stephen Miller and the rest of these folks keep talking about how somehow Donald Trump is the peace president and he ran apparently somehow on, attacking Iran. This is some reality that I think a lot of Americans are acting like they forgot about.
I am the candidate of peace. I am peace. People don't believe that. I am peace.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them.
We do not want war with Iran. We actually want peace. The Iranians are clearly not very good at war. Perhaps they should follow President Trump's lead and give peace a chance.
Kamala's campaigning with warmongers like Liz Cheney. How do you think that is? She picks Liz Cheney, whose father virtually destroyed the Middle East. You know, Liz Cheney, she talks big, oh, I want war. She always wants war. Every time I was with her in the White House, we should attack this nation, that nation, nations that people never even heard of, we should attack. She's a big tough guy. She sits back in Washington, oh, we ought to go and attack Iran, Iraq, we're going to attack everybody. That's why I broke up with her. All she wanted to do is go to war with everybody. These war hawks, they want to draft your kids to die in wars, and they will never fight themselves. You know, we'll stay around the country for 15 years, just bomb the hell out of everybody, make everybody miserable. Nobody knows why we're there, you know, the wars that never end. These endless wars that we've been in, I've gotten us out of so many. We don't want to get into wars. We're tired of fighting. I'm the only president in the last 84 years that didn't start a war. Under Trump, we will have no more wars. No more wars. No more wars. We will have prosperity and peace. We will have prosperity and we will have peace. Remember, I'm the president of peace. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. He's going to start a war. I said, no, no, no. My rhetoric is going to keep us out of wars. And that's what happened. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
Drop Site News put together one of those compilations that I used to do all the time for the Young Turks, man. Lovely. I mean, just it's pretty straightforward. Just find all the times that he lies. This guy's a propagandist. That's like all he does. So since they're now stuck under this guy who's now promoting war with Pete Hegseth, literally like writing poetry about how he can't wait for more bloodshed, how the dripping of blood from the skies over Iran, the way that Pete Hegseth is talking, they had to shift. So the narrative has to shift from how this Nobel Peace Prizing, deserving president doesn't start any wars. In fact, he ends 12 to 15 to 20 of them. Now, people like Jim Jordan, we just saw what Donald Trump campaigned on. We just saw it. And Jim Jordan's job is to tell us that, you know, that's not what we saw.
When people step back and evaluate it, they say this was the right decision. This was consistent with what the president told the American people when we, the people, elected him. He said he was going to do this and make sure it didn't happen. And again, I think Americans are willing to, you know, accept this and support this strongly because it just makes good common sense.
So people have to step back and evaluate this whole thing. And what they'll figure out is that apparently there's this new reality that you're supposed to believe, like some propagandists, that suddenly this is everything that people voted for. They voted for this. This MAGA Republican Party is in shambles because that's what they're pushing on one end from Jim Jordan, and from the other end back to John Kennedy, who nailed Kristi Noem. He's kind of back and forth, but at least here he's back on Team MAGA. This is the talking point also for now that we've invaded, which I'm sure none of them would hope would happen because it'd make them all look bad. But now you have to go full on George W. Bush. Listen to this. This is crazy.
And the Democratic leader in the House, the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, says we're going to lose. Reaction to that?
He's wrong. He's wrong. We've already won. We will eventually leave Iran after having destroyed their renewed efforts to develop a nuclear weapon, after having destroyed their missile arsenal, after having destroyed their missile launches, after having destroyed their navy, and the good people of Persia will now have an opportunity to pick their own leadership. Hakeem is wrong.
Senator Kennedy, I wish I had at times your brain.
No, you don't. No, you don't, bro. I wish at times I had your brain because I'm curious what the feeling of mush swimming around in my head feels like. But John Kennedy's point is we've already won. We've already won this war. We went in like a few days ago and we've already won. Well, why the are you still in there if you've already won? I feel like it just might be a talking point.
They cannot have a nuclear weapon. They have to give up their long-range ballistic missiles. They cannot continue to sponsor terrorism all over the world, as what many administrations have put up with as the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. And they can't have these naval capabilities that can instantly shut off 20% of the world's energy supply. Those are the objectives, and God bless our United States military that are achieving those objectives right now as we speak. Like you said, in many ways, we've already won.
Laura Ingraham also had a chyron, a graphic saying we've already won. I feel like it maybe it's a memo that went around that said, make sure that you push the propaganda and tell these idiots that are watching your network that we've already won, so that no matter how many dead bodies they see come back, no matter how many reports of innocent civilians that we've bombed, as Pete Hegseth literally celebrates those things happen, no matter how much you see it, just tell them we've already won. 5 to 6 to 10-year-old children in Iran, who cares? We've already won. Did you know that they're going to be terrorists one day? Matter of fact, they apparently carry, bombing vests around already at 7 years old. That's the propaganda part.